When I failed, I was judging myself a lot. I was asking myself, what did I did wrong? When I missed or I lost something, I was judging myself. What have I done here? What is my implication in this? When I couldn't understand, I told myself, it's your fault. So I will invite you to understand the power of moderation. When we bring the energy of moderation to us, we meet ourselves. It's a cotton between our judgment and us. So, because this program, this video, is based on how you can coach yourself daily with moderation, with respect, being kind to yourself. You remember when we were young, we were kids, and your dad or your mom just looking at you, just one way to look at your face, the message was clear. So from there, that signal, anytime you receive a look or behavior like that, you train yourself to respond that way. Now, when we grow up, we try to find that look outside. We try to replicate. So when life looks at us, we think we should react that way. So when we fail or when we cross the line or we think we cross the line with something, our response is to set back, to go back. So my parents, fortunately, I had wonderful parents. I only had 9 years to taste them, but it was enough to pump in me a lot of energies or understanding. Sometimes I used to think, I don't know if my mom knew that she would only have 9 years with me, so she had to give me everything, which was love, understanding, compassion. My dad was a little bit harder, Nigerian man, the generations of the 1940s, but he also gave me a huge value, which he told me to never be greedy, to always be generous, to always share. And the way he explained this was, if you have one thing for you and you cut it into pieces for more friends, you will enjoy more and the taste is different. So I extract this example to my daily life, moderation. So I cut into pieces the way we understand and we relate to ourselves. Why am I sharing this? Because did we forget that always there is always judgment. If we judge others, we judge ourselves. How do we judge ourselves? That's the question I want to ask you. If you could duplicate yourself and be the receptor of how you speak to yourself, what number will you rate? So let's say you are speaking to another self, which is you, exactly the same way you speak to yourself. And how much will you rate if you were receiving that energy? How much will you rate yourself? Well, you will be surprised because sometimes we say I'm stupid, and it's not stupidity, it is just ignorance, it is just the school of life we are learning. Sometimes we say it's my fault. Well, is it the fault or is the lesson I'm taking after this? What is much more important? The punishment I'm getting or the lesson I'm taking from this? Then, what do we understand as love? Sometimes we are being trained that when we have validation, that is love. I will slightly bend into relationships. The relationship starts with us, the way we treat us. So, if someone is in the dark and they want light, because we are shining, they will be attracted to us. So, we need to make sure that we have the light. So, how do we relate to ourselves? How do we speak to ourselves? What's the range, the status, the value we give to ourselves? That starts first from us. So, my mom, she told me one day, my son, it is never how it begins, it is how it ends. So, never negotiate discipline. Wow, mom, thank you for this. Because any situation I found myself at first is arduous, it's difficult, I cannot understand. I remember those words like, oh, Ralph, listen, it is not how it begins, it is how it ends. So, any point you find yourself right now, please, let's start from there. Let's understand that we are in life. Discernment is not always granted, and that is the purpose of evolution. Self growth is that. So, please use the energy of moderation, the way we speak to ourselves. I will invite you to create a relationship with yourself. Before we can relate to others, let's see how much we judge ourselves. Is there a judgment that is chasing punishment or to reaffirm the identity we have created? Or is simple analyzing, testing, examining? We are searching to see if we are still shining, we are still getting out the light. So, will you are you open to be moderate with yourself? Are you open to go back and see the behaviors we are repeating from when we were a child? It cost me nearly 20 years to dislearn the habit of when someone will look me at that way, that was my fault. If my boss is just looking, I'm doing something wrong. If I have a mistake, I'm doing something wrong. So it cost me nearly 20 years. In my case, because I've been adopted, I've been living in many houses. So I always have the guilt of feeling like, oh wow, they're helping me. So I owe them something. Therefore, I need to be precisely aware of any mistake I'm doing. So I was very hard with myself. Oh wow, I'm sleeping in their house, they're feeding me, so I have to be perfect. That came from my childhood. That came from the way I was responding to life. It cost me 20 years to sit down with Ralph, of course, in the nature, one day and say, listen, instead of feeling guilty, let's change it with gratitude. I'm grateful. I've been adopted. People have opened the house, have opened the door for me. Let me just take this as gratitude, as the way life was taking care of me. Instead of feeling low, instead of making myself small. So I hope this video resonates with you. You might be feeling small in some area in your life, and it comes from the childhood, the mechanism of defense that we create to feel accepted, to feel involved, to feel included. So I'm sharing with you this channel is the exposition of my life as yours and sharing everything that works because we are humans and it might resonate in you. And also unconsciously, it affects many realms in our life because this example was coming also when I was married and my wife is in silence because she simply don't want to talk. She doesn't have anything to say. But I will start ruminating and saying, oh, wow, I've done something. She told me to do something and I forgot. And I was just punish myself until the only way I could break the chain is okay, if I ask, that might lead to inviting her to overthink as well. Why is he asking me when he knows that nothing happens? So we will be both struggling in the spiral of overthinking. If I don't say anything and I wait, I am taking the load. I am the one that is, receiving the energy of overthinking. So what can I do here? I learn to reframe it and say, Ralph, listen, let's give it a new context. Do you think if your ex-wife wants something, she wouldn't tell you? Yes, she will. Do you think if you have done something wrong, there is something else than you are being afraid? You are being afraid of the guilt. So you are being afraid because you don't want to be guilty of this. It's a ripple effect. So why would you feel guilty if you make a mistake? Can we sweep that and change it? If there is a mistake, we are grateful. Wow, actually, this works. So I'll give you an example. My wife will say, babe, please buy this, buy this, buy this, buy this. At the end of the day, she'll look at me and I'll say, damn, yeah, I forgot. Sorry, babe. The next time, make sure it doesn't happen. Before that, I will say, babe, help me because I can't deal with this. Now I'm changing from being guilty, I'm being inclusive, I'm opening, I'm bringing love. And she will say, oh well, you can, put it on your phone, alarm, make a list. If you want, you can call me before you jump into the supermarket so you don't forget. Now we are a team. Now we are a group. Now the energy is flowing. Because of the moderation I brought in, that will help me again. So I hope you that you have the power. I am not here to fix. Remember, this channel is to act as a mirror so you can see the insights in you. You can see the power you already have. Okay? That is the work of a coach. I am here just to be the space where you can say, "Hmm, now I will do my work. I will dive deep. I will have the self inquiry and I will say it. So you have the power. Okay? Have a lovely weekend. I'm going to go for a bloody walk and I wish you all the best this Saturday. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video. And please write in the comment. Let's create a community where we can share because the more people feel understood, the more we share, they don't feel separate. That's one of the impacts of this. We feel separate when we are struggling in silence. We take ourselves out of the group because we don't want to expose ourselves. We don't want more shame. So let's be open, let's share. If you need anything, if you have been through this, please comment, share your experience. let others see that we as humans, we share something in common, which is the journey of the school of life we are evolving. I send you love, send you peace. May God bless your spirit forever, and thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend.